Greetings, this is August 12th at 10 a.m. I've got the new satellite data from 8:40 a.m. PST, that's Pacific Standard Time, and here's the story. Wind at 9 kilometers from the south-southeast. This may increase tomorrow up to 16 kilometers an hour, and then it should slow down and maybe 14 kilometers an hour on Sunday, and then slower, and for the rest of the week kind of cool down a bit. But there are gusts and variations that may occur, whether you're up on the plateaus, you're down in the ridges, or in the valleys. However, we're seeing a steady stream coming from the south. The flow is from the south, both on the coast and both in Alberta. So last night, with these winds, a lot of fresh oxygen coming in. I'm not seeing a lot of areas with expansion except in the northeast. This is where a lot of infrared is showing up. It's moved northwards towards Green Lake, appears to be going adjacent and 8 kilometers to the east of 70 Mile. It's about 9 kilometers from Green Lake, and as you can see, that large group of infrared around Young Lake, there has been expansion. It's on the western shores of Young Lake. You are looking at dots on a screen, so we're going to zoom in so that you can specifically see where that infrared is occurring in the northeast. There's also, it looks like on the eastern flank, there's some buildup there, but I'm not seeing a lot of significant change in the perimeter. Here's the numbers. We're looking at 154,285 hectares involved. That seems like a significant increase from last night. So when I get a chance, I'm going to come back and see how much change there's been. And 29,222 hot spots in our tally. Again, winds have come in. They're affecting certain areas more than others. We are looking at an extensive infrared array in the last 6 hours before this update at 8:40 a.m. PST. There seems to be a lot of patterning there, busting up what looks like a random flash points within that infrared. Here is the 6 to 12 hour period. So now we're looking at the whole last 12 hours before this update. Again, you can see lots of strategic placement of infrared. Let's call them control signatures, with a random infrared now from the 12 to 24 hour map interdispersed within there. So there is a strategy at work, and I can't guesstimate the proximity of these infrared points to key areas. They could be 500 meters, a kilometer off, depending on the angle. This gives you an indication of where the perimeter is and how it's expanded. We can see that north flank heading towards Green Lake. This is a satellite overview, and you can see as well a lot of activity in that area, both it appears controlled and random. Now we're going to zoom in a little closer to Young Lake. Most of that activity is in the forest on the southwestern shore. We're looking at a disbursement of 200 to 300 meter placements of those infrared. This may be part of a controlled situation in that forest. I'm seeing a lot of sort of equidistant infrared indicated. I'd just like to move over to Vedette and see if there's an increase in that fire perimeter. And I'm seeing these sporadic infrared that want to spark to the east, but I'm not seeing much growth towards Vedette. So it's kind of gone north and west around Vedette. In the whole northeast flank, I'm seeing focal points of furious activity. These are random concentrations with extensive patterning over top, and that's primarily in the last 6 hours. However, now we're going to look at all the infrared data over the last 24 hours. And here we can see approximately 9 kilometers from Green Lake, still holding at 8 kilometers from 70 Mile House. Once again, here's the satellite overlay, so you can gauge what the territory looks like, where those cut blocks are, and you'll be familiar with the overlay of the land. Back to Young Lake, this is the new fire perimeter. It's on the western shore. A lot of those dots can be 500 meters to a kilometer off, so this only gives an indication where heat is. You want to check with the official sources below to find out from the TNRD, the Caribou Regional District, and the BC Wildfire where actual perimeters are. You can see this extensive, almost infrared fire guarding that's going on an angle from the southwest to the northeast. This is a terrain topical overlay so that you can get an indication of the area that the crews are working on and how rugged the terrain is to the north and to the east, where we go head at the top of the Deadman River Valley. Here again, I'm seeing this extensive diagonal patterning. This could be part of a controlled strategy to hold back eastward movement on the fire head. This is a shot of Big Bar. I was hoping to see it a little clearer this morning. It is filled with a lot of haze. This could be from those new areas of intensity within the fire perimeter. Not a lot of change in the other flanks. We're down in the east and the southeast. It still looks to be contained within the fire perimeter, just maybe a little hotter. I am seeing some flare-ups within the interior of the perimeter, but the northeast flank is the only one that seems to have jumped and gone into motion. The southwest and south, again, very similar position. Crews are holding it there, especially around the Boston Flats. I'm not seeing a lot of large movement at all. So southwest flank, Highway 99, Highway 97, again, looks static, looks like it's being held back. I'll come back to these areas in more detail. I wanted to get you this information on the northeast flank as quick as possible. Please pause the screens, look at them in detail. You'll know the area better than I do if you're from that region. And check out the links below. Check for your evacuation status. Be safe, everyone. This is an active wildfire.